Every successful growing young company is going to have moments when it's negotiating against a much larger company, and it's a very important transaction. It might be the sale of the company, it might be a big strategic relationship. And I've been on both sides of those. I've represented both the large company and the small company. And it's a very interesting situation to be in, especially on the small company side. I like to think of the large company as Goliath Corporation, which is a name used by Jasper Ford in his books. But it's basically the big corporate behemoth. And basically, when you're representing the small company, there's some things to keep in mind to keep from being swallowed alive in such a negotiation. The first thing you need to do before you even sit down at the table with Goliath is to develop your alternatives and to understand what happens if the deal falls through. That may mean doing a deal with a competitor of Goliath. It may mean raising money. It could mean doing a deal with a smaller company, doing a merger or something like that. But you can't just assume that the deal is going to go well. As long as you have a good fallback alternative, that'll put you in a stronger position in negotiating the best deal possible with Goliath. The next thing to do is to understand exactly who you're dealing with at Goliath and what is motivating Goliath to do the deal with you. You should understand what Goliath's other options are in terms of would they acquire someone else or do a deal with someone else? Would they develop technology internally? It'll help you negotiate the best deal if you understand how much these other options would cost them. And in terms of who you're working with at Goliath, it's important to know who the ultimate decision maker is and what their factors are and whether they need sign off from other people and whether they are able to proceed even if they don't get that sign off. A company like Goliath is not going to have their CEO sit down at the table across your CEO. They're going to have a middle manager, maybe a business development person, maybe a vice president, and you're going to have probably your CEO. Maybe someone under that, but probably your CEO. And so that creates an imbalance where they would always be able to go back and say, well, we have to get approval from someone else. Well, they'll be pushing you to make a decision on the spot. So in that situation, it's really important to make it clear that you have other people that you have to report to. It might be the board of directors, it might be investors, but you can't just get pushed around at the table by Goliath. It's important to understand whether time is on your side or not. Usually a company like Goliath can afford to just wait you out and starve you out if you don't have a good alternative. But there are situations, because they're a public company and they're driven by public reporting requirements, where it could actually make sense where they need to get a deal done within a certain time frame so they can announce it. And if that's a situation, you can know that and you can use that in your favor. At the end of the day, doing a deal with Goliath can be a life-changing event for your company and its founders. On the other hand, the wrong deal can kill the company. So you need to be careful to get the right deal. And if you're prepared, you'll be able to get to a good result.